Good everyone, my name is Graphics. In this video, we want to reproduce the figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen in isometric projection. Now, if you look closely, the figure is the two views of an orthographic projection, and it is a first angle projection. We have the front elevation at the top here, and we have the plan at the bottom here, right? So we need to assemble this view in order to reproduce the isometric projection of these views. So the first thing you have to do is for you to draw your isometric axis, right? Using your 60 and 30 degree set square. So I'll be making use of the bigger one, which is this, right? And I will draw the vertical line, right? I'm going to draw the vertical line this way. Draw the vertical line this way. And I'm going to draw the other axis this way. And I'll draw these two this way. So this is the first thing you will do, right? And the lowest point A is at this point here. This is where A is, right? A should be the lowest point. Now you need to get the entire what? The entire length, right? So I'm going to get the entire length. You see that the diameter of this circle here from the elevation is 40, right? Making the radius to be what? 20. So it means that if from here to here is 40, then from here to here is what? 20. So 20 plus, we have 65 here. So 20 plus 65, that will give us 85, right? Now, if you look at this is a square. How do you know? From the plan here, this figure here you're seeing here is the same figure here, right? And we're given that it is 50 millimeter all round, so that is a square. So you are going to add it with what? With 50, meaning that from here to here is 50, right? So 85 plus 50, right? 85 plus 50, and that's going to give us 100 and what? 35. Is that okay now? So I'll measure 135 from this point downward here. So placing my instrument this way, starting from 0, you can see that, starting from where? From 0, and I'll measure 135. This is 0, and this is what? 135 here. Can you see that? And the entire width here is given to be, if you look at the plan like I told you in the previous video, you get the width from the plan. So we are given here to be what? 65. So the entire width here is what? Is 65. So I'm going to measure 65 from point A. So I measure 65. So from here, I'll measure 65. This is 65 here. Start again. And the entire height given to be, the diameter of the circle is 40 plus 10 here, and that is what? 50. So the entire height is what? Is 50. So I'm going to measure 50 from 0 up to what? 50. Can you see that? Then I'll make this form a box. So I'll draw out my box from this shape here. So use my set square and project my vertical line here. Move it to this point also. Project the vertical line here. Then this is this way too. Right? So we have 50 on this point. Then from here, I'll do the same thing too. Then from here, I'll do the same thing here too. And I'll close it up here. Right? This is what we have here. We bring it down so we get a clearer view of what we're about to do. Can you see that? Now we start carving our image from here. Start again. So let's first of all start from this point here. Now if you look at this, we have a square, right? From the plan, the square 50 millimeter in all direction. So from here, I'm going to measure 50 millimeter. How would I do that? Get the center of this line. So if from here to 65, that means the line here will be what? It will be 32.5, right? So I'm going to measure 32.5 from A to get half of this line. That will be one of the procedures. So if I measure it this way, from 0 to this point is 65, then 31, this is 30, 32.5 at this point here. Can you see that? And I'll just draw a line this way. Is that again? That will be the center line, right? Now what will I do now is, since this is 50, you can see this distance 50, this figure here is this figure you're seeing here, and it is 50. All length is 50. So I'll take half of it, which is what? 25. So measuring 25 from my meter rule here, from 0 to 25, I'll place it at this point. I'll mark 25 to the left, and what? 25 to the right. You can see that? Measure 0 to what? 25. That's what I did there. Now, after I've done that, I will now take the entire distance here, which is what? 50, and I'll place it at the center here, and I'll mark 50. Can you see? So with the help of my instrument, I am going to draw a line in this manner, placing it on my T-square, right? And I'll draw a line in this manner. And I'll also draw another line in this manner. And I'll also draw another line in this manner from this point I measured, right? So if I like, I can easily thicken it just to reduce the line. So thicken to this point, and also I will also thicken to this point, right? And I'll take them up. This point, take it up. This point, take it up. This point, take it up. And this point, take it up. Can you see that? And the thickness from here, you can see it is what? It is 10. So I'm going to measure 10 millimeter upward from 0 here, right? I'll measure 10. Is that again? So from here to here, 0 to 1 is 10, right? So with that point, I can easily take my instrument, right? Place my set square on my T-square this way, right? And I'll draw my line from this point to this point. I'm taking that point. So from the same thing I'll do here too. From this point to this point, right? And I'll just draw faint line here. I'll tell you the reason I'm drawing my faint line here. First of all, faint line here, and also faint line here. That again, so I can easily thicken the edges here. Thicken these edges here, and also this edge here. So this is what we're doing first of all. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to draw a line in this manner, right? Or better still, I'll come back here to measure, to do the other part, which is the circular figure here. and we're given that the circular figure is 40 millimeter diameter, right? Meaning that the base of it is touching this here. So what I can simply do here is, this is the center point here, right? This is the center point here, right? I use my faint line. I will now draw a parallel line to this point, this way. That taking, so I will measure 40 millimeter from this top downward because of the diameter of the circle. This circle you're seeing. So it means that the base of the circle is touching the base, this the line that connects this together. So what I will just do is I'll measure the 40 millimeter downward. So if I'm measuring that, this is what I'll have from here. This is 0, right, to 40 is here. So I will just take my meter rule and I'll draw a line across this point. And I'll bring here down to, right? And when I've done that, I'll bring here in this manner too. Just a little bit. I'll bring here too, down this manner too. So what I will do next is, we know that from this point to this point here, to this point here is 40, right? And I'll come here, I'll mark the 40 at this direction too. Can you see that? That's the 40 I'm marking there. And I'll close it up in this fashion. With the help of my set square, I'll take this up and I'll close this up, right? And I'll close this to here and I'll bring this down. Can you see? So I brought out this box. So what I will just do is, I'm going to draw my diagonal here to get the center of that line. This is very effective. Join these two diagonals together, right? And also, if I join the diagonal together, I'll get the center, but I don't want to draw a diagonal, right? I'll just mark that point. So this is the center here. So that is the center. So I'll pass my point and line through the center here. So placing it on your T-square this way, then you move it. Whatever you are drawing, you must use your T-square and your set square. So I'll come here and I'll draw this. Can you see that? And I'll come here also, draw a line passing through that center. And I'll get this. Right? So the same thing is, we know that I'll draw a line to pass from here using your approximate method of construction of a circle. You join from here as ordinate method of construction. I'll join to this. Then from here also, I'll join to this. So you see this point? Let me say here is point 1. Let me say here is point 2. Right? They are very important points. Here also 3. And here 4. These are the points I will use to draw my arc. But before I do that, I need to transfer those points to every point too. So what I did here, I'll do it here too. Join the diagonal. Can you see that? Now, you see there's this shape, you see this thickness of 25 here is this arc that you're seeing here in terms of the elevation. So it means there's an arc coming in this fashion here. So I need to get the center of that arc, right? So we notice the center of the circle of what we draw the figure here, remember? So what I'll just do is I'll take my meter rule and I'll take half of 25 because the thickness here is what, 25. And half of 25 is what, is 12.5. So this is 0 to what, to 12.5 here. This 10, 11, 12.5 here, right? And if I place it at the center point here, I'll mark 12.5. I'll also mark 12.5. You can see that. I'll do the same thing here too. I want to channel the center point, which is this. I want to channel it up, right? So if I channel this point up, half of it, I'll be having this point, right? So this is the point I will use again, and I'm going to mark from that point, uh, 25, and also what? 25. Can you see that? So after I've done that, we know very well that the base of this 25 here is coming straight here, and the base of this is coming here. As shown in the equation, you can see the straight line. Let me just bring it out this way. Let me bring it out this way. Can you see that? So bringing it out that way, so we tend to what? We tend to proceed. Now the next thing I'll do is, we know this is 25 also. This is what we are calculating from here. I'll just project that point up, and also I'll project it up too, right? I'll make it form my box because I want to draw an arc at that point. Make it form my box. Hope you can see that. So in doing that, I'll just transfer my point. This point you're seeing, now I draw a diagonal line here. I'll draw another diagonal from this point to this point. Also another diagonal from this point to this point. You can see that? So I don't have to repeat all these things I did here. I'll just transfer the points, placing your t-square and your z-square this way, your z-square and your t-square this way, and you go to point 2. So if this is point 2, meaning point 2 will be here, point 2 will be here, and also point 2 will be here. So all these points you see are 2, 2, 2. Please pay attention. I'll come to the one also, transfer the point also. This will be point 1, and also what? Point 1. So this is also 1, 1, 1, right? And what else do we have? We know all these points you see, all these points you're seeing here, this is 4, right? So here to be what? 4. Here to be what? 4. Here to be what? 4, right? And we'll proceed. If I want to start drawing now, see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take my compass this way, and I'll place it at 3 to get an arc here, right? Because you can see the figure is circular, so I'm getting an arc here. You can see that? I place it here, I got an arc here. That again. Now I'll come to this point also, from here to here. Can you see that? I got this arc. Then I'll come to this point too here. I'll do the same thing here too. Get another arc here. The arc here. From this point, I'll get the arc here. You can see that? I'll come here too at 4. Get another arc here too. Then I'll come to 2. I'll get another arc here too. Let me adjust that. Can you see that? Now let me tick in this, and this is what I'll have. So I have taken this. Now the next thing I did here, I'm going to come to this end here. I'll do the same thing too. So I need to transfer those points too. from this point, right? From here, I'll move this point to come here. I need this point. I also need this point here. This point, transfer it to touch here, right? So I will now move from here, this end here, because I use this end to get this arc, so I'll use this end to get this arc too. So I'll place it here, and I'll draw my arc from here to here. This is what I'll be getting. Hope you can see that. So that is the arc, and I'll place it here too. At 2, I'll do the next one too to touch here. Hope you can see that. To touch here. Hope you can see that. And I'll place it here too to touch here. So this is what I will now take in all this. So taking, I'm going to what? Taking it. So you can see that. Then I will now join this end to this end here. This way. This end to this end. Hope you can see that. And similarly, I'll join this end to this end too. I'll use faint line first of all, which I will explain to you on the long run. Now we still move forward. Now the next one is I want to look at another box here, right? Let me complete that box. So it's what I'm talking about. This we have another box here. We have another box here. Right? This is another box here. So what I'm focusing on now is this box. You can see that plane there. So you know the same thing we did earlier. I am going to place my compass. I place it here to get this. Similarly, I'll place it here to get this also. So let me just do this. Faint line first. Right? And I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing. So let me use with the same measurement. I'm not adjusting it. Let me just complete this. Get the other box here too. I want to get the other box here too. This is another box here. You can see this box here too. So I'll do the same thing too. I'll place it, since I place it here to get this, I'll place it at the end of the box also here to get the other aspect too. You can see that. Now, in doing that, we are given a radius of 110, right, to land somewhere along this line. So if you remember your rules in tangency, when you have the circle bulging out, when this is bulging out, we'll call it internal, right? You're going to subtract the radiuses. So what will I do? I'm going to subtract 110 from the radius of this circle here, right? And that is 20. So 110 minus 20, that will give us 90. So I'm going to measure 90 on my meter rule. 0 to what? To 90. Right? And 0 to 90. Can you see that? And I'm going to place it at the center here of this plane. At the center of this plane. And I'll strike an arc. You can see that? I will come to the other plane too. The same thing I'll do here at the center here. I'll strike another arc. You see? This is for the first one. This is for the second one. Now the next thing is, in this case here now, we have So at this point where you want it to your curve to end, right? That is from here to here. You want it to be somewhere along this point here. I can decide to use 110 if I want to, which is the radius of the circle, right? So if I place it this way, if I from here, right, this is what we have here. If I from the center here and I measure 110, so from 0 here, from this 0 here, center point here, right, and I measured 110, this is 110 here. So I'll just take it up, right, and so this is where I want my arc to fall in, right? So these are my two targets here. Remember, the first one is for this and second one is for this. So here now there is no circle here, so we assume the circle here is 0. So we'll just focus on just our 100 and what? 110. So if I take my compass and I measure 110 from 0 to 110, which we know is from here to here, right? I'll just place it at this point, the first one, and I'll cut at the first one, right? And this is the second one, I'll cut at the second one. So if I place at the first arc here, you can see that from this point, you see that it is coming straight down here. From this point here, can you see that? And I'll be having this. I'll have that arc. And I'll come here also to the second one with the same measurement, and I'll have this arc. Hope you can see that. So if I've done that, let me now thicken it. So you can see that. Then this arc I drew earlier is also what? Thicken. So I'm going to thicken that. So after I've done that, I can now thicken from this point, right, to come here straight down to this point. So again, this is coming here, and I can now thicken this part. Sorry, not that part. This part here, and this part here. So again, so and here also. So I'll have to clean up this because you cannot see that figure from the top there. So I'll clean this up. So this is what we have here. And remember, there's a circle here, right? So you need to construct the same circle you constructed here. The way I did this, you're going to do the same thing. Or I give you a shorter cut to do. You can take your French curve, that again, just make our work faster because of time. You can just measure radius of 50 or just look for the best fit here, right? So if it's 50, you need 25. That is this 25 here, right? And you place it well. Ensure it is well placed. Start again, and you will now do this way. All together. So this is what we have here. So we have successfully reproduced the figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen. So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video.